Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to our second to last uh, episode covering what Naxxramas was. Naxxramas, of course, was the first expansion. It was this solo play um, adventure where you were given one free quarter and let's see. You were given the Arachnid quarter for free, and then for about 200 coins, that somehow it all balanced out to 700, I think, you would buy the next one. So we've gone through 3 episodes now of the 5 episodes we're going to do. So we're at the Construct quarter. Construct quarter has one extra guy, and then the Frostwind layer has one less guy. Uh, Beating these 3 guys got you like 2 cards, and we'll just go in here and watch, see. What we're gonna do is look at the guy on easy and then go try him on hard heroic.
Patchwork is sewn together from adventurers who couldn't defeat Lorewalker Cho. The 4 horse. Look, please ignore the mind control stones next to Vesuvius.
Lorewalker Cho. I don't think there was a character named Lorewalker Cho in this. So he has a 4 mana destroy a minion ability. So let's see what his strategy was all about. As we got further and further into the expansion, these fights were more about some kind of puzzle
You asked for it.
than it was actually about beating just a regular game with a new avatar. So look here, what do we got? Go second, he hits in the face with 5. He has 7 more of these. Death Rattle put this weapon into your hand. So even if he uses it over again, it's just going to go back in his hand. Now he has no cards, so it'd be kind of easy. It's just that you've got 6 turns to figure out how to destroy his weapon. And that's what you got to do, is destroy it. And keep on destroying it. So 30 on 30. Let's see him on the heroic option now and see what changed.
You win.
I've been very down, and I will probably continue to be down on Naxxramas, particularly now that we're in the Goblins vs. Gnomes expansion, which did it so right. So, I mean, Goblins vs. Gnomes is all about adding, I think 100 cards were added in Goblins vs. Gnomes. They didn't bother to do any of this solo adventure. They didn't add any new characters you could play as, but these are just bosses. You can't play as them. You could certainly, I could see this being something you could play as. Why can't I play as this? I don't know. It's just they didn't decide to let that happen, which is over and over. We see it in Naxxramas. That's the thing, is that there's tons of cards that they play in this expansion that don't get added to the main game. You get very small, like I said, 13 cards.
You asked for
But then
it.
there was several others. So what I would want to do to beat Patchwork here is come up with a great strategy of taunts and weapon destroys, and he is going to lose life every time we draw. So making him draw can attack twice. 4 mana destroys a thing. So he's not too bad about the this doesn't change or become like 2 mana. Instead, this has Wind Fury. Now, every time I end the turn, he's gonna... I think he would take damage, but he's not drawing cards. That's unfair. That is totally unfair. Every time I end the turn, he should take twice as much damage, and he's not taking any. He's got me down to... What's Mirror Entity gonna do for me? Nothing. So we'd have to figure out some great strategies here. So the Death Rattle puts the card back in his hand. Next turn he'll just bring it right back out. So he's got 8 more uses of it. Still not drawing cards, still cheating like crazy. This would suddenly become... Every new expansion was a little bit harder. A little bit more difficult. Let's see. So the next guy, I did do them all. That's what the green checks are. I did them on easy, where they are actually... It took me a couple tries on a few of them. Usually it took me about 2 tries on each, and if it was a hard one, it would take me 5 tries, a little bit more. And when you got each one done, you'd get 2 or 3 cards unlocked. When you get the heroics done, you don't get anything at all.
Grobulus is my prototype for an army of giants. You are test subject 1.
Alright, so... His hero powers deal 1 damage to all minions. If any die, summon the slime. What an interesting power. I mean, I would love to be playing against people that are playing as Grobulus. Then you probably have to balance it a little bit. All of these are super unbalanced, but that's not that difficult.
Versus Grobulus.
You asked for it.
We don't need to do that. Since we're only gonna look here. We forgot to
Hello.
do this.
No talk.
Job's done.
So it's just a 30 on 30 fight. It does 1 damage to everybody if any dies a slime, so that's not that difficult. It would take you a couple tries, but not really that difficult. Now let's go see it on Heroic and see what they changed to make it impossibly difficult. I don't think we're getting any experience for these quick concedes, but oh well. So now the Grobulus is 0 mana to do 2 damage, and that summons the slime. So they've made it now completely ridiculous. Takes no mana whatsoever to
Jaina
to
versus
do his ability.
Grobulus.
You asked for it.
Let's see. See what we can do. So it's pretty much staying consistent at 45 to 30 on these. To all enemies. So it's doing 2 damage to me too. Well, I guess I could have. Could have used this. Save myself too. Another card, I do not believe you get that card. I don't think you ever get to play it. You do get Leopard Gnome, of course, but I don't believe you ever get Mutating Ooze. Mutating Injection. It's just like... It's just so weird. They made an expansion for the game, then they refused to give it to you. I mean, it's just downright strange.
Handle it!
Far too many cards in this expansion are never allowed to be played. Again.
Or die! Or both.
And I think they learned from their lesson for sure, because these cards, maybe they're just slightly more overpowered than Goblins versus Gnomes, but they're not that much.
Job's done. I feel icky.
They need to make good on this. I really do think they need to. They need to go back and just say, you know what? Let's get these cards out. Who cares if they're overpowered? Who cares? Whatever. Just throw them out there. We'll ban them later. If you can rebalance them a little bit. Yes, they all need to be rebalanced. But I want to play as these. I want you to get 9 out of these 15 characters here. 15 potential heroes that could have been more heroes to play as. You can figure out how to make every single one of these a playable hero, and then double the number of playable heroes, double the number of strategies, really make the game more complicated. You would have to rebalance almost every single one of these because they're overpowered, but you could do it. I believe in you.
Blue feeds our leftover zombies. Come to think of it, you would make a pretty good leftover zombie.
Gluth has changed the health of all minions to 1. Okay, so for 2 mana, that is probably not a fair ability, but 4 mana, 5 mana, perfectly fine. I'd be fine with playing with people that had that ability. So let's see what Gluth is like on easy, and then we'll try him on heroic.
Jaina versus Lou.
You asked for it.
I asked the zombies if they wanted to eat your brains, and they said, I don't eat junk food.
So Naxxramas here gets more and more talky, but another sad
Hello.
part of this expansion is just that we do not get to ever fight Naxxramas at all. I mean, it's just sad. How can you do that to us?
You win.
I'm not joking at all. Look, the last person you fight is Kel'Thuzad. We will get to him in the next episode. I don't want to click on him and lose the audio. But yeah, that's the last person. So you never get to fight Naxxramas, this guy you are seeing. When you do beat all of them, you get a picture of him being defeated, which is not really that much. But really, they should have given you 700 gold back. Or, you know what? Give me 350 gold for doing all this. Alright, so now it is 0 mana to change the health of all enemies to 1. Talk about crazy. I don't think I've beaten... Nah, on Heroic I have not beaten any of them. I really had no thought that I would.
Versus Luz.
It would take a lot of work, a lot of making a custom deck
You
to
asked
try and
for
beat
it.
these heroic levels. They're like 1,000 times harder than the normal levels. And I don't see the point really of doing that. Health of all enemy minions though, and it even specifies enemy minions. That's not fair. Whenever a minion with death rattle dies, gain 2 attack. Another card, Jaws. Another card we don't get. It's really a disappointment. I mean, this was the introduction of Zombie Chow. If you've been watching previous episodes, you've seen me play Zombie Chow. As soon as the zombie dies, he gives you 5 health. So you can play pretty poorly and then get lots of health back on this strategy. Let's see.
Job's done.
Now you can only get back up to 30. So one more hit will do 1 damage to kill at least that guy. Of course, they all have death rattle, so now that's stronger. So I've played right into their plot. This was a 2-2, now it's a 2-1. Game over. So, then we get Thaddeus, which is just weird. I mean, it's really weird that they messed with the balance. Every other previous quarter, you got 3 guys, and then they give you 4 guys, and then they give you 2 guys. Why couldn't they balance that out? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Here we go, Thaddeus.
It's alive! But you won't be for long.
So his 0 mana ability is swap the attack and health of all minions. Now Thaddeus isn't a hero, but he is a card that is special summoned, as it were, through the death rattles of Fugan and Stog, which I believe are the 2 cards we got for beating this quarter.
You asked for it.
There is the thought that all of these guys are bad guys, and maybe they just didn't want people to play as bad guys in this. But I think that's silly, because the other archetypes, like the mage and the shaman, they could just as well be bad guys. I don't think in the lore they are, but they could be. Seems silly to limit yourself that way. You did all this work, made all these new characters, thought up all these new abilities, thought up all these new cards, and then you're gonna take them away. Swap the attack and health for 0, so let's see what they did to spice up Thaddeus.
Jaina versus Thaddeus.
I must obey!
You asked for it.
Just 45 attack and that's it.
Job's done.
Time to master.
Okay.
You die now!
Okay. That is certainly gonna make a difference. They've got Fugue and Installer out already. So if I want him to die, I need
Job's
to
done.
keep their attacks as low as possible. What? That wasn't any fair. It went back. Oh, because of the way it works. Oh, I'm gonna have to think about that. That's a little difficult.
Job's done.
What card was that? Supercharge. Yet another card we don't have, we can't use. Wow. So if we kill him, I don't think he's gonna bring back another Fusion. It's still like remembering all the polarity shifts. Alright, so that is on Heroic. And then let's just keep the episodes balanced. We did Druid and Rogue, then Hunter and Mage, then Shaman and Warlock. So, just to keep it balanced, we will only do the Warrior class, even if it was in actuality that the Warrior and the Priest got unlocked. I imagine it probably was the Warrior and the Priest that got unlocked, but no, let's just do it legit. We'll do Warrior and Priest and make this episode really long. And then next episode will be really short. But yeah, this has turned out to be a pretty good idea to go back and just show what Naxxramas is and why I'm so happy with Goblins versus Gnomes. Let's see. I mean, they really did a 180 on Goblins versus Gnomes. It could have been potentially the death of Hearthstone, which has only been out for a year, even though
Job's done.
it's been in beta for quite a lot longer. But if they were just gonna always make expansions that were solo players.
Greetings. No talk.
Alright. Draw a card for each damage friendly kicked. Taunt. Alright.
Job's done.
Oops. Of course, that job's done sound is actually from like Warcraft, an old, I believe, DOS-based game from many years ago, which is where, yeah, World of Warcraft. There was a game called Warcraft before it, long time ago.
Honor, made to fit.
Job's done.
Not in a galaxy far away, actually in the same galaxy we're in. Same planet even. What a coincidence. So whenever it takes gain 1 attack, whenever it takes damage.
The blade be thirsty.
Strike.
Notice here, his ability is not working well for him. So play this,
Made to fit.
play this,
Strike.
attack this.
Job's done.
Some still
Let the pain speak to me.
Strike.
That was probably a mistake. Let's just go ahead and end our turn here. Yeah, attacking with this one is a mistake. So let's have some fun with this. Throw the Brawl out. Brawl is a card you get to play, I just don't use it. So it's not that hard to really see the way you would do this.
It's time for a little blood.
you to master.
Job's done.
We've lost a lot of this strategy the game initially was offering us. So we draw 2 cards because this guy's damaged and this guy's damaged.
May my ancestors watch over.
Still looking for the Stalog comparison here. Maybe in this deck they only get Fugan, which would be a terrible deck.
It's time for a little blood.
Job's done.
Alright, let's see if I bring this guy. And then this. So this
Who
guy's
you want me
gonna,
killed?
and then this guy.
Job done.
What a card. Grommet Hellscream. I imagine you can get Grommet Hellscream. I mean, they even put a rareness on it. I haven't seen anybody play it. Whenever a minion takes damage.
May be thirsty. Let the pain speak to me.
13.
Taste my blade.
Hey, got a little experience for that. So if you just want to get a little bit, a tiny amount of experience, you can play the Naxxramas Naxxramas challenges and
Anduin
work your way that way.
I must obey!
The light shall bring victory.
Alright, so bringing this guy out will have a unique effect
Job's done.
because he has the 0 attack. When polarity shift happens,
You die
he
now!
will die and come out as a 4/4. So it will actually help me.
Job's done.
So will this guy die is the real question. Just want to kind of
My
bring
new
this
recipe.
guy out.
Sustenance.
Could give a million +2 health and draw a card. So we want to see if this guy's
Job's done.
ability is hurt by polarity shift. If it is, he'll die right now. Nope. So giving him double his health, give him +2. Actually give him +2, then double his health, that'll be more. Let's see. +2, draw a card. Double his health. These two cards out pretty fast. Gain control of an enemy with 3 or less attack at the end of the turn. Ooh, Shadow Madness. I don't think you can play this card. I've never seen anybody play it, at least. I mean, I'm not a perfect expert.
Job's done.
I haven't seen every single card. Cards sometimes do surprise me, but to have never seen this, sounds really powerful.
The damned
This
stand
out.
ready.
Oh, well,
The
this
damned
out.
stand ready.
Here we go.
Embrace the void.
Long chance of clarity things happen.
Tom's blue.
Alright, let's heal this guy. Doubles health. Gain control of him. Hey, and that's the end of this fight. He just says thank you. So that's not one too bad. Class challenges, normal challenges, not that hard. And by the way, we will never do recordings of like expert practice runs or anything like that. There's just no reason. It's just ridiculous. You choose your deck, then you choose your opponent. It's just, I don't see any reason why we don't do that. But that's it for this episode. One last episode as we take this trek through recent history. It was only a few months ago that Naxxramas came out. And just compare it to Goblins vs. Gnomes, which, in comparison, this is what Goblins vs. Gnomes is. It is just more cards. That's all we ever wanted. And we didn't want this adventure stuff. And I don't think we're ever gonna get it back. I don't think we'll ever see another adventure. Or if they do adventure like that, they need to give us more cards. It's just ridiculous. That's all we wanted was more cards. That's it for this episode. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of the video. All of that helps out. Have a good evening.